real business owners.
Welcome back to the Real Business Owners Podcast. This is myself, Trevor Cowley. As always, we've got Kel Goodman with me. Guys, today we have a special guest for you. He didn't know that we were kind of business partners coming into it, but, I let him know. He found out about, 45 minutes ago that we're in business together. But, guys, we have Jeff Fenster on today's show. He's the founder of Everbowl franchise, right? When did you guys become a franchise? Just not too long ago,
this
right?
Year. Yeah. COVID.
So COVID's been good to you then.
I mean, I hate to say it because people are getting sick,
slaughtered right now.
COVID's been a good opportunity for us.
Yeah. You guys have grown quite a bit just even in the last month or two.
Yeah.
I think I saw something last month that said you guys closed on 20 stores just last month between Utah and Arizona. And
it's a unique time, because people are looking for the ways to take control of their financial freedom.
Yeah.
They either got laid off or their job is not what it used to be.
It's just uncertain. They're uncertain, so might as well use maybe some of the money that they have to create some sort of residual income.
That's right. And they don't want to be in a position where they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow for them financially.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we looked at it and said, okay, what can we do? Well, we launched franchising. And now we just launched financing. So now we also finance franchises.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So how does that, is it like a percentage of the revenue that they're generating that you just take? Or is there a set monthly payment for a long period of time? Or how do you structure it?
Yeah, we're doing 3 and 5 year loans.
Okay.
And the cool thing is the way we built, so we're a vertically integrated wheel or system.
Right. Okay.
That's kind of my background is building vertically integrated businesses.
Okay.
It's kind of my jam. And so at Everbowl, not only are we a storefront that you can go in and buy craft superfood and get all the great experience that you would as a customer, from a business side, we build the stores with WeBuild. We source and provide our own superfoods with unevolved products. So because we do all of that, for us to finance a franchisee, someone we believe in, someone who speaks our ethos, has our work ethic, and we think they're going to be successful in a good market, who just might not have all the capital necessary, we're going to help them open that door.
Right. Gotcha.
And the beauty is, all the expenses go to us, one of our companies, right? So we're willing to invest in them and then let them pay us back once we get those doors open. Because if we believe in the location and we believe in the individual, we know they're going to be successful.
It's a no-brainer. Yeah. If you believe, and also if you believe in your product, in your business, why not?
You already believe in the model.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you've already proven it.
Yeah, and like all companies, if I'm not going to eat my own dog food, why should you?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. So it kind of shows you hey, I'm so committed and I'm so confident in you.
I'll put my money where my mouth is.
I'll buy it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
We just need you to operate it and help you make money, and then the goal for us is you're going to do so well that you're going to pay us back and open a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth store.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? And we're going to own the market together.
Have you found that most people are taking advantage of that, or most people are paying with their own money, or is it kind of 50-50? Kind of what are you seeing from that when you open up that option to people?
Well, what makes us unique also is how inexpensive it is to open an Everbowl franchise.
Yeah.
So the average comparable for our industry, our sector, our competitors are $250,000 to $300,000.
Yeah.
We're half that.
Yeah.
Or less.
Yeah.
So because we already are so cheap, comparatively to what everyone else is doing, and the reason we can do that is because I don't have to make money building your store.
Yeah.
I'm not building it to make a profit. I'm building it to get it open, to get Everbowl everywhere.
Okay.
Right? So rather than you go and pay a GC a whole bunch of money to build a restaurant and put our name on it, well, they got to make they got to make their profit, right?
Yeah. That's their business.
That's their business, exactly. So we've taken all of the profit out of the whole build-out phase to where we want to get you open. So because it's so cheap, most people just pay for it themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, look, I'll get that money together. We're also SBA approved,
Gotcha.
so you can go get SBA financing.
Oh, that's cool.
But we have a handful that have already taken advantage of the financing, and it's great.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Cool. So just, if you guys didn't catch that, so he owns a company called We Build Stuff?
Yeah, it's We Build, one word, stuff.
Okay. He builds stuff.
We build stuff.
We build stuff.
Yeah. I don't know how to build anything, but the company builds stuff.
He's got people who build stuff.
We got smart people.
Much smarter than
yeah, no, it is a super smart way to do it. So what he does is when somebody sets up a franchise with him, he sends his staff and his team out there. We build stuff, and they're the ones that's going through the process of doing the build out. And that's what he's talking about by having a less barrier of entry. He's able to do it a little bit cheaper because he's doing the build outs himself. That's another one of his companies. And then he also owns another company what the coffee company? What's that one? It's Super Fuel.
Super Fuel Coffee, yeah. So
Okay.
it's it uses Everbowl's acai, and it's the
Okay.
world's first acai infused coffee.
Okay.
We sell it in K cups and ground. It's available on Amazon,
Oh, dude, that's cool.
in Sprouts, and in our stores and other
Yeah.
websites. And the idea is you drink coffee every day, but you don't always eat superfoods.
Yeah.
And we believe that you should have superfoods every day, filled with antioxidants.
Some sort of nutrition.
Yeah,
right?
it keeps you young.
You know, we have so much bad shit in the world in terms of food and let's be real. The average person isn't getting the nutrients that they need in the world that we live in today.
Not even
unless you're
close.
taking a handful of vitamins every day, which, let's be real, people get excited about their health for a month or two, and they, 2 or 3 weeks later, they're sick of popping pills on a day-to-day basis. So if you're going to drink coffee, you might as well drink something that's somewhat, healthy
it's
for
just extra.
you.
It's super fuel, right?
Okay.
It's your fuel in the morning. You're going to do it anyway. So let's just
Get
make
some
it a little
nutrition
better.
with it. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Just sprinkle a little bit
And
of goodness in there.
It tastes good.
Yeah.
And we have 3 flavors and 3 different varieties. It sells really well. Customers love it. We got tons of reviews on Amazon, so you can check it out. And if you don't like it, hit me up. I'll refund you.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm
So
gonna get on and order some.
Yeah,
of the coffee. I haven't been able to try the Everbowl bowls yet.
yeah.
So
I tried
gotta
them. They're
get the-
good.
yeah.
And if your main location or the most locations are located in California, I'm guessing.
Correct.
You said what? There's like 16 in California.
San Diego. We have 16 in San Diego. We're in Orange County. We're in San Francisco, Arizona, Nevada, and now Utah.
How far can you go? Like, what if someone is like, man, I want to open one in New Jersey?
Hawaii or
Well, so we just signed a franchisee in Orlando.
Yeah.
So we're coming to the Orlando market. So the beauty is it can go anywhere you want it to be.
Right on.
As long as we believe in the market. We're talking
Yeah.
to some people in Japan. We're talking to some people in Germany. We're actually talking to some people in Qatar. Because our San Francisco store is great because it's in Union Square. We did a corporate deal with Macy's. And last winter, all of the tourists came and just got to experience
loved it. Yeah.
And the way we build is unique. The reason it's so inexpensive is because I don't like to just be redundant like everyone else. So when we sat down and said, we're going to build our own stores, we said, how can we do this differently? How can we disrupt what this whole process looks like? And we looked at what IKEA does with furniture. And we're like, I can go to IKEA and I can buy an entire living room in a box.
Yeah.
Why can't a restaurant be built in a box? So we literally build restaurants in boxes, like they are prefabricated offsite. When we show up, we're going to install that thing in 10 days.
Wow.
So like the store that just opened up in Pleasant Grove,
It's just a quick turnaround.
we signed the lease with our partner, and 23 days later, we were open for business.
Wow.
So you're not only getting it cheaper, but the biggest other drawback for most people who open franchises is all that time until you're making money.
Yeah.
Right?
There's like a
6 months.
6 months to 1 year by the time you get permits approved and you start doing build outs.
Correct.
And, most things in construction usually end up being more expensive than you predicted or projected and take
always.
longer than you projected, So that's one of the usually downsides of it. But obviously, you guys have it even systemized down to a build out with some of your franchises as well.
That increases the likelihood of success because when you look at entrepreneurs,
Simplicity.
And I get asked, when I speak on entrepreneurship, a lot of the time it's, why do so many businesses fail? And it's because they run out of money. And the way you don't run out of money is you start making money faster.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're all excited. You got this new business. You got all these expenses. Money's flying out of every which way, and then time goes by. But then rent's due. And then the electric's due. And the permits are due. And payrolls due.
When you don't have money the first of the month, seems like it's like every week.
It does seem like it's every week.
Hey, I've been broke once too, so I know what it feels like. It's just like it's the first again.
Seriously, it seems like
Payday
it is
seems like it's a
every
year
week.
out, but then rent's due every single week. So it's just true, dude. When money goes out, it feels like it's just all the time. But when money comes in, it's You definitely, and I think one of the issues with entrepreneurship is the lifestyle of entrepreneurship as well. And so one thing I wanted to highlight here on the podcast with you, we obviously follow each other on Instagram, and so I was checking out, you've been on several podcasts and you post clips of some of those podcasts, and making a sacrifice and taking a step backwards and not living too high on the hog is a difficult thing for a lot of people. And so I was sitting here on Instagram, and I was on Jeff's Instagram, and he was on somebody's podcast talking about, basically taking a large step backwards in life in order to put himself in a situation to start Everbowl and to even get to the point of where he's at today. He's got several successful business ventures, but if you will, tell us a little bit about the process of, why Everbowl was even founded. It's a pretty cool story in terms of, hey, I had a close friend of mine pass away, and I wanted to really get into, nutrients for my body. I wanted to be healthy. Let's talk about that side of it just real quick, and then kind of go into, the start of Everbowl in terms of you taking a step backwards in life and kind of eating a piece of humble pie to put yourself in a situation where you can be where you're at today.
Sure. And truth is, the step back I took was pre-Everbowl. It was a previous company.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I was in a good financial position for Everbowl. But I'll hit it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Let's talk about, it's business in general,
yeah,
right?
sure.
This
So-
podcast is about business.
I'll just give you the quick synopsis.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I went to law school to be a sports agent and had a job lined up, had my whole career planned.
I can see you being a sports agent, dude. I'd sign with you.
Yeah, I'd like to be the Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
Exactly. You're getting it now, just not in the sports agency world,
But life has a funny way. I think we
Yeah.
were kind of talking about this before of throwing curveballs at you. But my third year of law school, I had a daughter and a fiance, and I didn't want to travel the world representing talent and doing that. I wanted to be home and be a father and see my daughter grow up. And so I graduated.
Change,
So I graduated and said, well, shit, I don't want to be I don't want to go be a sports agent, and I definitely don't want to be a lawyer. So what am I going to do with this 6-figure expense now that I have?
Yeah.
And so a buddy of mine got me a job at ADP selling payroll.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, as a sales job. And I needed to make some money and figure out what I was going to do. So
What year was that?
2007. Yep.
I wonder if you were one of the guys calling me, man.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Because when we started in 2006, I remember I had an ADP agent, man. He was relentless.
Well, I will tell you, I was the number one sales rep in the country, so you damn right I called you probably twice.
Yeah, probably was
Did you
man.
use ADP?
We did for a little
Then
while.
I damn well was me.
It was you.
Then it was me.
I think we used it for like 2 years.
This is
Congrats. Thank you.
Hey, this is the second close that he's had on us. First was ADP, and then the second was Everbowl
ABC,
franchise.
baby.
Yeah, it'll always be closing.
That's
over.
right.
Who knows? We might buy some shit from him by the end of the podcast too. So
I'm setting you up. Don't worry. I'm seeding right
This
now.
whole area.
Yeah. But I worked at ADP 6 months.
Okay.
First to make President's Club, made 6 figures in 6 months, was the top sales rep.
That's awesome.
Built a big ass ego. I was
Hell
24 years old.
We've
I bought
all
a
been through
house.
that.
Bought a house. Moved
The biggest one that you could afford?
for sure.
Oh,
Back then,
you can
this
get
was
approved for
07.
X
This
amount.
was 07.
Yeah, they
So
were approving everybody for
Literally,
way
I was
more.
like,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll sign. I can move into that?
Yeah,
Oh,
of
Plus, the
course.
loans were so easy to get.
yeah.
100%. I got 100% financing.
80-20?
I got 100% finance. Yeah. So that was great.
That's what I did too. 80-20 loan.
Yeah, 07, man. Remember those days? So moved in. I was very high on the hog. And I earned a $17,000 bonus, pay increase in my salary. And because I had law school loans and I had a daughter and I was getting married and I just bought this house that I couldn't really afford, I wanted my 17 grand. So I went to my boss. I said, hey, I earned this. Can I have it? And it was January of 08. And my boss said, you have to wait to the end of the fiscal year, which is until June 30th. You'll get it the second or third week of July. And I looked at them like they were talking a different language because I said, well, wait a second. No. I sold what I needed to do. I hit my quotas. I hit the numbers. Give me my money.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like,
that's like somebody showing up to work this week for work, and then I'm like, you'll get paid in December for that week's worth of work.
Right.
It just kind of throws a
It
curveball.
does.
And the last thing you want to do to a sales rep is throw a curveball about their money.
Oh, yeah.
then it
You wanna
puts them in
lose
a
a good
downward.
guy,
Yeah,
or you
that's
wanna
how you're going to lose
demotivate
good.
her?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. And I thought because I was the number one rep out of 2,000 in the
That they
country,
would bow down to you.
17 grand.
Yeah.
This is ADP.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't.
Should be nothing to them.
17 grand is
Cut the
probably
check.
underneath the coffee machine.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And they basically told me no. So in the heat of the moment, I basically threatened to quit.
yeah.
And I was like, well, if you're not going to pay me, I'm probably just going to have to quit.
Yeah.
Thinking there was no way they were going
They're
to
going
let
to
me
beg you to
walk
stay.
out the
Okay,
door.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was like, you get the corner office,
Yeah.
Jeff. Go sit down.
Jeff was
34
bigger
grand.
than the company in
Yeah.
his mind at that point. When you're
JDP.
making, yeah, exactly, exactly. Not ADP. They're going to change it. So.
But no, Ashley, my manager, she's like, Jeff, listen, we're a big company. These were annual goals. You're an outlier. We're not set up for this. I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. We value you. We like you. We want you to stay. You're doing so well. I went home that night. I looked at my fiance and I was like,
I'm done.
I want to quit.
Yeah.
I want to sell this house. I want to move in with my mom and dad. And I want to start my own payroll company out of my mom's kitchen. And I don't know what I'm doing. And basically she was supportive because she was my fiance.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a wife, not so much.
Say,
but back then we were in love, puppy love.
You were still trying to get to the altar, so everything's agreeable. Till
honeymoon
then.
phase.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that was good.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Exactly.
And she said, yeah. And then I reached out to my parents and I was like, listen, this is what I want to do. I don't know anything about starting my own company, but I know I can sell this stuff.
Yeah.
I've sold so much of this, I can sell this stuff.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends I got him a job at ADP, and I was like, why don't you quit and join me?
Yeah.
And let's do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. So literally the next day I quit, got out of my brand new house, moved in with my mom and dad and my daughter and my fiance, and started a payroll company out of my mom's kitchen called iChecks and with a buddy. And we grew it and was very successful, raised private equity, expanded, changed the name to Candid PHR, and fortunately we were able to sell it to a company in Florida in 2012. And that was a really cool experience for us, and that's how I got into entrepreneurship. And that humble pie of that, that was what I think I was talking about was, a lot of people say, well, Jeff, I have a mortgage or I have kids.
I got kids.
I had all that too.
Yeah.
And I had a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to decide what's more important to you, that mortgage, that house. Do you like the house more than you like what you're doing?
Yeah.
Or do you want to have because I always believe that if I'm able to get it once, I'm going to get it again.
Yeah.
This wasn't a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Like
you earned it. Yeah.
I earned it.
Yeah.
So I'll earn it again.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a big deal.
And this is kind of a similar concept to why Easier Accounting exists, because Kel used to sell tax and accounting services.
Literally, bro. Like it was such a similar story. I mean, I actually got fired though.
Okay.
Right, because I had already started a side hustle, and he's like, "Nah, man. If you're not here 100%, you're not here." And so I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever." So I went home and we went all in on our little side hustle. But after like a couple years of that, I was like, "Dude, we could make so much more money if we just opened our own accounting company." I don't know how to own an accounting company, but I can sell the shit out of it. That's what I did. I sold accounting services, and so we did the same thing, man.
Yeah,
we just
and then
opened that.
You figure it out as you go. You figure it out as you go.
Now I'm sitting in the fruit of that decision right
exactly.
now.
Exactly.
I didn't move into my mom's basement, but we moved into my basement.
Yeah, that's where the business was started. Was in,
was like,
his,
fair.
was in his basement.
Fair. We had guys showing up in my parking.
But it's the same. It's the same principle, right?
Yeah,
Which is you use what you have. I had a support group. My mom and dad. You think they wanted their son who has
Moved
a law
back
degree
in.
and a daughter and a fiance and a house and a 6-figure job to quit all that and move in their house? No.
I'm sure they thought you were going through a midlife crisis at 24 years old. They're like, God, what's he doing right now? But now they're like, God.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing back then. So you have to kind of look like an idiot before you look like a genius.
Well, and you can't be afraid of looking like an idiot. Like
exactly.
Everyone starts at the beginning.
Exactly.
Right.
And the other excuse I hear all the time is I don't have experience. And this is a theme I talk about religiously, which is experience is the most overrated prerequisite to starting a company. And anyone who's sitting there saying, I need to wait for experience, bullshit.
Well, how do you get experience if you're not doing?
Correct.
Right.
And the best example is Everbowl, right?
Yeah.
Because when I started Everbowl, my dad's a contrarian. He's a doctor, retired, but he doesn't understand business and entrepreneurship and none of that. And he's not a risk taker
He's just
at
great
all.
in his...
He's conservative. Like he doesn't take risks.
Yeah.
The riskiest thing he does is wear the wrong color shirt with his pants that day.
Yeah.
And
he's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Right,
He's debating it all day. He's had a bad day, threw him through a loop.
But it's good because he gives me that contrarian perspective.
Yeah.
And he's like, Jeff, 9 out of 10 restaurants fail.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, you don't know how to cook, and all you do in the kitchen is make a mess and eat.
Yeah.
And I was like, true, and true. But let's talk about that. 9 out of 10 restaurants fail. 10 out of 10 restaurants are started by someone with restaurant experience. So you mean that experience that you want me to go get is going to give me a 90% failure rate when I finally decide to start my own?
Exactly.
What the hell do I want that for?
Exactly.
It can't be much worse with zero experience.
Yeah, I'll just start out. If I fell faster. And
Right.
do something else.
I'll say this. Your dad's probably a very smart guy, right?
In his own way.
Yeah. Okay. So he's a very, very smart guy. And I've had conversations with people before about certain people that are really smart. They utilize data, right? And if you're using data, you look into entrepreneurship and see that the majority of businesses fail. It doesn't even necessarily have to be restaurants. It's just business in general, right? 63 or 4% of businesses break even or lose money each month. So statistically, you're an idiot if you want to go into business. So you have to be dumb enough to feel as though that you're going to be in the minority side and actually be able to win. And I do think that the statistic could be much better if the right mindset was in place prior to going into business. Too many people go into business trying to get rich or this, that, the other, when they need to realize that going into business, you will take a step backwards first. Whatever you have now, you will sacrifice something that you currently have in order to get something greater, but you can't get something greater unless you let go of what you currently have. It's just completely impossible. So data, I don't really like statistics unless it's my business statistics, right? Where we look at our data, our bill through rates or this or that. We obviously have to use data to properly operate our businesses, but statistical data of what other people were able to accomplish, I don't really look into that too much, because you have to buy into your own personal belief in you. And if you believe something so deeply, statistics don't matter. Statistics don't know that Jeff is going to go 100%. He's just not going to quit, and he's going to figure out a way. Statistics don't show that. They don't show who you are as an individual. And the people that are willing to take a step backwards and eat shit for a year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever it is, eventually gets in a situation where they sell a company and make a bunch of money, then start the next company and the next. And the experience from the past company and growing that is going to serve you with another company and another company. And we've talked about this before on a podcast, is a lot of entrepreneurs like to become serial entrepreneurs and start the next business to the next business. I don't know if it's because we get bored. We have
entrepreneurial ADD.
We want to figure things out. We want to have the challenge. But once you get it figured out, it's not as much of a challenge. So then you want to kick up a new business or what?
But I think you hit on something awesome right there, which is also something so important, and that is people confuse entrepreneurship with a single craft, right? Like I am a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't care what I start in new industries every single time. I've had payroll business, construction, restaurants, digital marketing. Yeah. I've failed, I've succeeded, I've had recruiting agencies. Yeah. I don't know how to do any of the things I do until I know how to do them, right? But the difference is too often, and I think 63% fail because what people fail to realize is being an entrepreneur is a business. Yeah. Right. I'm a restaurateur does not make me a good entrepreneur. I'm a good CPA does not make me a good entrepreneur of an accounting firm.
Exactly.
I'm an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. We are good at problem solving. That is the definition of an entrepreneur.
I would add sales into that too. Sure. Sales and problem solving.
We solve problems.
Exactly.
We don't see issues. Like my dad's a doctor. That doesn't mean he can run his own medical practice. Yeah. That's a different job. He needs to partner with me. You be the doctor and let me run the business.
Somebody run the business. Because the business itself is completely different than what you're selling.
Correct.
Because there's plenty of people that are terrible in business, but they're great plumbers. They're great electricians, great at framing or whatever it is.
That's right.
Right? Maybe a great chef.
Great teacher, great doctor, great accountant, great lawyer.
Exactly. But then when it comes to the business side, making deals happen, networking with people, all of these things are very important components in making a business successful. And if you're just good in one area, then you maybe either one, be open-minded to learn new shit and be willing to get hit in the face a little bit, or partner with somebody else that's maybe better at solving problems than you, and you're the fulfillment aspect of the business, and then you have the business operator, the individual that's actually running the business.
Or just people that want to do their craft. There's people that are wired that way. They're like, I don't want to make
They don't want to take the risk.
Bring me the business, I'll do my craft, right?
Yeah. And those people, and that's they're better at what they do than I would ever be.
Right. Yeah.
I can't be successful. I don't know how to use a hammer. I could barely put Legos together. But we can build restaurants because I have a team of amazing people that are phenomenal at what they do. Yeah. But you ask them to negotiate the contracts and work with vendors and suppliers and produce a P&L and make sure that we bring in more revenue than we're spending and deal with all the insurance requirements, and their head will explode.
Exactly.
And if you give me a hammer and screwdriver, I won't know what to do with either one.
Exactly.
So it's great, right? Yeah. It's a symbiotic relationship.
So you just hit on a point, just surrounding yourself with the right people. Okay? Right. One, a group of people that you're surrounded by, and the team inside of your business, right? The group of people that you have helping you take the business to the next level. Let me ask you this. How much has surrounding yourself with the right people impacted you, personally and professionally? right?
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's literally everything. And so much so I have a course on LinkedIn about relationship capital.
Right.
Just went live, so check it out.
Where do they find it?
It's on LinkedIn Learning. So if you're a LinkedIn Premium member, it's free. If you're not, hit me up on LinkedIn. I'll send it to you for free, so you don't have to buy it. But it's on LinkedIn, and it's all about that. I mean, truthfully, I'm not sitting here today but for the investment in relationship capital and surrounding myself with the most incredible people from, currently with Everbowl, the Dan Fleischmans and Aaron Wagners and you guys and a team, and, on my team, Brian Augustine and Eric Hansen and the team that we have and Eric Brosell and all those guys have enabled us to do what we're doing. But for all of them, this isn't where it is.
Yeah.
My payroll business, if Brian Hansen, who joined me, wouldn't have done the operations side of actually processing payroll, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a zero. I would have failed in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I could sell the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I bring in more business than anyone will know what to do with.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to actually process it and handle the operations of that business, 0% chance
And
that was
it's
happening.
so important for you to be able to travel. Okay, you traveled here.
Yes.
There's a lot of shit that's still being done even when you're gone and away. It's so important to have the right people around that you just can travel without the stress of worrying about, oh man, is that going to get done, or is this going to get done, or is that going to get done? There's been times when we were kind of the sales managers. Now we have people in place to obviously do that, but it seemed like when we would go out of town,
everything would
sales would dip.
Of course.
Like if we're not looking over their shoulder or whatever it is, right? Not necessarily micromanaging to a certain extent, but when
being there,
when the cat's away, the mice will play, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And they just kind of pull their foot off the gas a little bit. Obviously, that's the job of a sales manager or a manager in general, is just make sure that the team is performing. But that's been huge for us too, is just having the right leaders in place to where you can just do your thing and focus on growing the franchise, because you're maybe best served right now for the business to be out in the world and bringing attention to the business and bringing it. Is that kind of your main thing right now, is let's focus on just exploding this thing, and the best way to do it is by getting as many eyeballs on as we possibly can?
Yeah, I mean, that's a large part. Obviously, I'm the CEO and I have investors, which means I work for my investors.
Yeah.
My job every day is to increase shareholder value and make the company worth more than it was yesterday. And that's another mistake as companies hit that next level, right?
Yeah.
And I had to learn this in my payroll company, which is startups are great because you get to do all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
But then once you bring in outside capital and you have investors and we have private equity behind us and we have expectations now, people make the mistake to think the CEO actually works for the business. I don't. And that's what I had to tell my team. I was like, guys and girls, you guys have to run this company and you have to be responsible. I don't work for Everbowl, the company. I work for the investors and shareholders. Granted, I am the largest shareholder, but I work for us, that pool of people. And I have to make decisions with that hat on. At the same time, I love Everbowl because it's my baby. I started the damn thing, right? Yeah. So I need you guys to make sure that we are being all the things we've built over the last 4 years on a daily basis. And so, yes, I'm very good at getting exposure for the brand and being out in the world, like you said. And so, me being on podcasts, me getting interviewed, me being featured, me doing these things and talking and being the face of the brand to the street brings eyeballs and attention to Everbowl that we wouldn't get otherwise. Yeah. And that's how we're getting these opportunities in Utah, Orlando, Oregon, Texas, North Carolina, New Jersey,
Hit
New
up
York.
out of country, and all
that happens because of the stuff I'm doing now. And I needed the team to say, that can only happen because we have the dream team.
Yeah.
We have amazing people that can hold down the fort and grow the company the way it needs to be grown.
Let me ask you this. How difficult was it for you to, give up certain roles? That's one, excuse me. That's one thing that I struggled with, was handing things off, right? When you build something, you just barely said, it was my baby, tell me a little bit about the evolution of Everbowl and slowly having to hand off different roles. Was that an easy thing for you to do, or is that very difficult for, obviously now it's probably a lot easier for you because hindsight, but I'm just talking about in the initial phases when you had to start handing off different projects or whatever it was, or things that you were in charge of. Was that a difficult thing for you to do?
Extremely.
Yes.
So when I started Everbowl in October 2016, I was not in a position where I had to eat what I kill on a daily basis financially. So, and I started Everbowl, and for literally the first 4.5, 5 months, I never left the building. I opened it and closed it every single day, 7 days a week. I was there. And it was pissing my wife off because she's like, you are working.
Yeah.
You're working 80 hours a week, a minimum wage job, and you're a father of 2 and a husband, and we have the money. What are you doing? And I was like, I started this company. Like,
You're like, I need you to go back to the fiance. Yeah, you're still very supportive.
Hey, where are you been?
Well, yeah,
Who
exactly.
Are you? No, yeah. I mean, it was, but that's the only way businesses are successful.
Yeah.
Because I was never going to allow any job in that building to someone ever to tell me you don't understand because you've never done it.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I did every single
Everything.
job. I built every process. I was completely hands-on.
Yeah.
And then October we started. In March, Brian Augustine, our Chief Development Officer, joined us.
Yeah.
Came from Trader Joe's. He's the brother-in-law of our Chief Branding Officer and
Good dude.
amazing dude.
Yeah.
And he loved and believed in what we were doing so much. He was like, "Don't pay me the first year. I want stock. Just let me just come. Let me help." And he came, and it was weird because now I have another executive for the first time, who's just joining, and like he wanted to sink his teeth in, and I
Yeah.
had to let go.
Yeah.
And I probably held on
That's
a
a
little
tough-
too
yeah,
long
that's a
and
tough
stepped on his
transition.
toes a
Of
little bit
course,
too much.
of course,
and
dude.
you know, we had our little spats every now and again, and but then slowly but surely, what happened was I began to trust him.
Yeah.
And I trusted that he, you know,
You should have went to one of those trust exercises.
should have, where they,
had
like,
him
fall
fall
back,
and
yeah.
see if he catches your ass. If he
I would've
catches,
fallen
you're like,
in.
okay, I'm going to take a 6-month vacation. You caught me. We're good.
yeah. But just that he understood what we were trying to get done.
Right.
You know, so it was hard. It was very hard because it was a tangible business. But like you said, every day it gets a little bit easier because like what happens now is decisions are made that I'm not even a part of.
Yes.
You know, and I find out after they're done. And at first that was really weird. You know, at our peak we had over 400 employees. So it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and try the telephone game with 6 people, not try with
Yeah.
400.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you walk in and someone doesn't even call it Everbowl.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But again, we have incredible people, and Brian's expertise is building out the culture and the brand. And I said, this is the culture I want. This is what I'm trying to get done. And
The vibe that we want to
exactly.
create.
And it's
yeah.
his ethos too. And
Yeah.
that was what that part. Although we might disagree on how we're getting to the top of the hill,
Yeah.
we're both getting to the same top.
Exactly.
You know, we
Exactly.
both want to get to the same spot, and once you have the same end goal, it became easier. And so, like all things, I mean, I'm not perfect. I get better every day.
Yeah.
You know, and I work on it. And this company, this time through, has helped me learn that. I mean, my previous companies, I had way less employees, so I never had to deal with that. And this is now hopefully gonna be the biggest one.
Yeah.
In that I've done this far.
You know what's huge that I was thinking about as you were talking about that is so many business owners, or not business owners, wannabe business owners, have come to me and they're like, dude, I got this great idea. I need investment capital. I need this. I need that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, nobody's going to give you money. You ain't even done anything.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, dude, I'm sacrificing time with my wife, my kid. I'm opening, I'm closing, I'm doing all this shit. And then all of a sudden these amazing people show up and then people are throwing capital at you. And now you're in a position where you can explode it. And I'm like, I've talked to so many kids that are just like, but I got the idea. Sign my NDA first and I'll let you be an investor.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like shit like that. And I'm like, dude, it don't work like that. You have to sacrifice everything you've got into this thing before you're going to attract investors or executives or people that want to sacrifice to be a part of it with you.
Of course.
And what I got out of it as well was anytime that you're trying to level up, right, and do something new, whether it's with, you know, your business or whatever it may be, there's a difficult part about it.
Right.
Okay, so when you start a business, you're taking a step backwards. We already talked about that, right? There's going to be a struggle period. So that's the hard period to try to level up and own a business, right? And then when you're trying to take a business to that next level where you can't be the guy that does everything, then you go through the hard times of slowly handing things over and having the trust thing come into play, right? Where you're micromanaging now. Like, no, dude, that's not the way I would have done it, dude. This is how I do it. And he's like, well, I do it like this, and it turns out the exact same, you know. And I had to back off because we used to run our credit repair company and handed that over to somebody that had been working with us for, 10 years. So he's seen everything, right? But I would just sit next to him and listen to him on a call, and I would just want to like take the phone and be like, dude, say it like this or do it like this. And he's like, dude, get out of here. Like, get out of the, like, let me give me room to breathe and let me do this thing, right? And so the whole purpose of that is if you're at a point in business right now and you're trying to get to the next level and you're the show, you're the guy opening and closing, so to speak, or on the jobs, you're going to have to eventually give up some of those duties. You can't control everything, and you're going to control yourself out of hitting the next level potentially. Sure. You're going to have multiple teams if you have a construction company or a plumbing company or whatever the company is, but eventually you're going to go through that weird phase of giving up your baby, giving the keys to the car to somebody else, and that's a very difficult thing to do, but you did it. And now look.
And I coined it as I like to be the dumbest guy in the room.
Yeah.
And that's what I strive for.
Well, you're not in this room, bro.
I don't know.
Come on. I can prove it, dude. Hey, I think we talked about my GPA on the last podcast. Let's start falling out. You went to college.
GPA
dude.
is an intelligence, you know what I mean? But when it comes to any part of the business, I want to be the dumbest person in the room. Yeah, and I want to be around rock stars. And what I learned...
and you are right now. You have a lot of awesome people around you, dude.
Unbelievable people. And in previous companies, I learned the hard way because I pushed out amazing talent. And what was happening was I had this humble moment where it was right before my digital marketing company. I had a recruiting agency, apparel business, and then I had a few small websites, and then I had this company that was supposed to help legalize equity-based crowdfunding called Equity Circle. And it was rock solid until we failed miserably.
Yeah,
and
it's always rock solid going in.
It was incredible until it failed. But I had this moment. I was like, why do all these amazing people keep leaving the company? I'm like, man, he sucks. She sucks. He sucks. And I was like, wait a second. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like,
am I the repellent?
I'm the common denominator. I suck because I was doing that.
Yeah,
I was telling them how they had to do their job and then getting mad that they weren't doing it the way that
Jeff does it.
Or no, that they were doing the way I asked them to, but they couldn't be me. They had to be them.
Yes.
You can't tell. I don't know if you guys, anyone who plays baseball, but everyone has a different swing.
Yeah.
Till they hit the ball.
Yeah.
And they don't care what it looks like.
Yeah.
If you hit the ball better than as good.
I think Tony Gwynn had a weird ass swing.
Everybody has a weird. Everyone has different swings.
Yeah.
But if you can hit the ball, hit the ball. So I'm a sales guy in my background.
Yeah.
You tell me how to sell, I'm not going to sell. You got to let me sell my way, and I'll be the best salesperson.
Let me be me.
Let me be me.
Let me be me.
Give them the freedom to be great.
Yes.
Don't tell them how to do it.
The best salesmen are always the ones that break the mold a little bit.
Yeah.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just read a script, the script is meant to be an idea.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. When I had a team of salespeople at my payroll company, and I'd give them a script, and I'd hear them, and they'd be reading it word for word, and I'm like, okay, you sound like a goddamn robot.
Right.
And
Stop that.
I've told people that too. I'm like,
have a conversation.
Nobody wants to talk to a robot. And if I wanted robots on the phone, I would just have a recording.
Right. This is a suggestion to give you a direction to take this phone call.
It's a direction.
And if you use swear words, use them. If you speak very formally, speak formally. Be you. Be authentic. Be real.
Yeah. Right.
And same thing for all trades, right? Our COO, he's quirky. I gotta let him do his jam.
Yeah.
Is it the way I would do it? No, but he's better than me. So let's do it his way because it gets better results.
The best leaders of organizations or anything really are leaders that can lead strongly, but also take a step back and let their leaders lead, or even
empower
lead you,
people.
Right? Like you're the leader, you got to let go of that ego sometimes and be like, dude, I need to follow what this guy's doing that I've put in position because he's actually doing it better than I did it. Or
it was hard for me to learn that. So. I don't know about you guys, but it was hard for me.
It is.
I figured it out now, but I've been doing this for 14 years now.
That's where the serial entrepreneur comes in. Where you're like, okay, I screwed up this many times on all these different things.
That's right.
But I can do this thing, and I won't make those same mistakes, and we can kind of fast track it a little bit. So you said, your background's in sales. So how many no's do you think that you've heard over the years, bro?
Millions? Way more than yeses.
Yeah, exactly.
Way more than yeses.
He wouldn't be in this room if they were all yeses.
God, no.
He'd be on the beach somewhere.
But no's that's the thing is and that's for entrepreneurship. If you can't take, I get excited when you say no.
Yeah.
Right.
Good. I'm that much closer to the yes.
Right.
Because it's inevitable.
Right.
They say it takes 7 no's or something to get the yes.
It could take 23 with me, maybe, but we're going to get... The difference is, and that was... What's funny is, and it blew me away. Because everyone at ADP, when I was so successful there, ADP then asked me to talk to the sales reps.
Yeah.
How are you selling so much of this? And I'm like, they gave us the recipe. Make 50 calls.
Yeah.
You get 5 appointments. From the 5 appointments, you close 2 deals.
Yeah.
How many calls did you make today? I don't know, 30? What are you talking to me for?
Yeah.
I made 100.
There's already...
I got 10 meetings and I closed 4 deals.
Yeah, the data's
There's my numbers.
Exactly. Exactly.
You just aren't making the calls, buddy.
Everybody tries to find a way around the work.
The shortcut.
Yeah. It's like...
Yeah.
Just do the work and you'll get the result. That's really what it comes down to.
Because ADP's been doing this for so long. They had it down to a science.
Yes.
Whereas like
you don't get that big unless you have all the data
And I
to
try to
know
say,
exactly what works and what doesn't.
I'm not special.
Yeah.
I just outworked you.
Yes.
And if you want to know what my secret is, okay, you went to lunch and played golf today, and I made 100 phone calls.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, I'm making 100 phone calls.
Yes.
Guess what I'm doing the next day? I'm making 100 phone calls.
Exactly.
This week, I made more calls than you made all month. Mm-hmm. And you wonder why I closed 4 times more business than you?
Yeah.
There's your answer.
Yeah,
Make
I'm
the
dialing
goddamn phone
4
calls.
or 5 times more than you are. It's just a numbers game, right? The more
Sales.
people that you talk to, the more opportunities
And
that
you get
have.
better also because magically,
Right.
on call number 97, I had something work. I tried it the next 100 calls and I realized that works.
Yeah.
works.
So now I'm just better at it than you because I also did it more times.
Exactly.
You know, it's not
you
like
failed more than you heard more no's than they heard, but that also means you heard more yeses.
That's right.
It's almost the concept of what is it, Michael Jordan that missed the most shots or something, but he's also the most recognized, right?
That's right.
You know, and the tough thing with leadership and stepping down is when you first do that, you're expecting the individual just to be you. Let's be real. Michael Jordan didn't expect Scottie Pippen to be Michael Jordan. You know, like he is him for a reason, and he has the results that he has for a reason. You are you for a reason, and you have to utilize the talent that you have. He didn't need, multiple A players. He needed a couple B players, some C players, fill in the role, but let me lead, right? And so when you start handing roles off, you can't expect the next person to be the next Michael Jordan. In other words, the next you. It's okay if they're Scottie Pippen. He's still a Hall of Famer. They could still be great and do it their own way and still be productive. But there's going to be some figuring out, and there's going to be some difficult times when you try to evolve your business and put new leadership in place. That's just part of the process, right?
And when I do some coaching these days, and when I'm coaching some of my clients, I coach these 2 guys, and I flat out told them, I was like, I'm not taking your money.
Yeah.
I can't work with you guys because you're too much the same, and you're both doing 2 different roles. You got to hire people who are different than you and fill your weaknesses. You guys are just looking to hire
A
10
bunch
people.
of yous.
Yeah. I'm like, so you're going to do this one thing that you guys already do awesome.
Yeah.
Who's doing all this other shit that you guys suck at? Right? If all I did was hire people just like me,
Yeah.
well, we'd be really good at selling stuff.
Yeah.
But we'd be better because we're going to lose clients
Well, you
every
wouldn't be able
single
to build
day.
shit. You wouldn't own We Build stuff.
We would not. No. No.
But we
wouldn't
sell
do-
shit.
Yeah. We sell it. We sell a lot of coffee, but why did no coffee show up?
Yeah,
I don't know. No one processed the order.
Yeah, exactly. We don't, we're killing it. The
And
board
that's a
says
mistake, right? Like you've got to, and that's the ego thing is people feel uncomfortable being challenged. And it's like, you look at our team and it's like, we are an eclectic group of people, man.
Yeah.
We are a bunch of different people
Yeah.
who think differently and approach problems differently. And some of us are outgoing and some of us are not. And
But the idea is just to move as a unit. It's okay to have the unit all be just different personalities, different people.
That's right.
But as
Well,
long as
think of a football
everybody's
team.
bought in on the exact same goal. Exactly. Everyone has
offensive
different
line and a
background
center and a kicker are 3 different athletes.
3 different people, but they're all bought in on the exact same goal. Let's win
right.
a Super Bowl.
That's right.
And that's all that matters, that everybody buys into what you're trying to accomplish. And I think people do a terrible job in business not speaking, their truth to their employees so that their employees can start buying into just being in a company that somebody truly believes in. And if you're not voicing that belief in your business, other people are just showing up for a paycheck. You have to create some sort of purpose inside of your business and make somebody feel like that they're actually a part of something. That's how you really build companies. Other than that, it's just a bunch of people that come together to collect a check. And those are people that are just going to come in, do the minimum, complain when they, have a slight headache, like we used to do in elementary school. We would fake a headache like, I can't, because you just wanted to stay home and play,
I didn't do that in high school.
Yeah, okay, whatever. You didn't figure it out that, yeah, exactly.
I had to get creative though. My mom was a teacher. So she was like,
like,
bullshit,
I don't care.
go to school. She's like, drink a little hot water and be like, hey, I have a fever.
Yeah. Put it right in there. Boiling water. That's fine.
You have 113?
Yeah.
Shit,
You
not
should
so hot
be,
next time.
You should be dead, dude. Well, get your ass in the car. We're going to school. So what's your goal over the next 3 to 5 years with Everbowl? You're going to try to take it public? I heard something about stocks. Is that something that
not
you
necessarily.
want to do?
We might not be going public. No. That's not even something we've
even chatted about or anything like that.
We've jokingly chatted about it, but it's not. No, I mean, for us, me right now, I just want to make Everbowl a national chain. I want it to be available to every community. I'm trying to promote the unevolved lifestyle.
Yeah.
Luckily, like I said, I'm in a position in life where it's not just about
a paycheck, money.
It's not just about that. I can actually say, you know what? I don't need to make as much if I can achieve my why. My why is the unevolved lifestyle. And it's funny though, you know, I say that and I don't want to bullshit anyone.
Yeah.
It ends up making you more money.
Yeah.
The truth. Because people chase money and when you chase a boy, a girl, an animal, or money, it runs.
Yes.
Right.
Attract the goddamn thing.
Yeah. By doing all the right things.
By just doing all the right things.
Yeah.
And like you said, everyone wants to look for the shortcut. They want to. They spend more time trying not to do the work.
Yeah.
And they spend the same amount of effort that if they just would have done the work, they would have had the same result or the better result. And that's the secret, and that's the superpower that hope people who listen to these kinds of podcasts aren't just lifers of like this is the new reality TV show. I joke. You know, motivation and podcasts. It's
success
like
zombies.
they just want to. They just want to hear it.
Yeah.
And then go do the same thing tomorrow.
Consumers, right? Rather than content and then exactly. You know, anytime we get a message from somebody, oh man, love your podcast. You know, it helped me here, and I'm like, okay, that's on you. You actually took the information and applied it because there's plenty of information that's available to people at zero cost on YouTube or on Google or on podcasts or Instagram or wherever it is. There's plenty of information that's available to you, and usually that's where you start. You know, some people can't afford a coach or a mentor getting into groups, but that's where we started. You just start hearing what other people are doing by listening to their podcasts or watching their YouTube channel or whatever it is, start absorbing that information. And that's how we got to the point of having a videographer and having a podcast is we just watched what other successful people were doing.
Yep.
They were getting attention, and they were getting attention through hiring a videographer, through, starting a podcast. We're like, okay, cool, let's hire a videographer if that's what other successful people are doing. It's really not that difficult to take the page out of other people's books because it's pretty out there. It's pretty open.
It's never been easier.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would agree. Yeah.
Like you could learn how to build a nuclear bomb on the the internet.
Yes.
Right.
And if anyone government's listening, I don't mean that shit.
Yeah. We can't confirm nor deny that that's on the internet, but we guess. We build nuclearbombs.com. You guys build that stuff too, huh?
I mean, if you pass,
right? Yeah, exactly.
But no, I mean, the thing is, you can learn anything, and the people who aren't applying it, and it frustrates me because if you ask someone if you could have any one thing, what would you have?
Yeah.
And it's funny, so many people say like, oh, I want $1 million.
Yeah.
You're just gonna blow it.
Yeah.
$1 million ain't that much money.
That is not that much money.
I guarantee you, if I hand someone $1 million today, 3 years from today, they do not have that money.
Well, dude, look at athletes.
I've already gone through a few of them.
Right?
Exactly.
And I've made millions of dollars. I've lost millions of dollars. It goes quick.
Yeah.
Because when you have more money, you all of a sudden have access to more things that cost more money.
I think what's better than money is
work ethic.
The experiences that you get, the relationships that you build when you're actually really on the path. Because then now you are an individual of value because of what you went through, and that's going to serve you forever. You'll have a forever paycheck at that point rather than somebody just giving you money. And I just think it comes down to choice, right? People choose not to do something because they're building it up in their head. Look, I mean, I did a little Instagram story last night. We can choose to read books at night or listen to podcasts, but what do? We watch TV and we're on social media.
Yep.
We can choose to listen to the radio or music on the way to work, or we can choose to listen to a podcast. What do most people do? They listen to the radio. We could choose to get up and go to the gym. What do most people do? They choose to sit on the couch instead. We can choose a lot of things that are available to us, but for whatever reason, we default to choosing the easy route, the non-actionable route, and that's the result that you're seeing right now in your life.
And let me add a little bit to that.
Yeah.
Let me add what the true cost is, because most people don't know this.
Yeah.
You hit snooze on the alarm goes off. I don't need an alarm, but some people need an alarm. It hits snooze. It's 8 minutes, the average snooze button. Okay?
Mine's 9.
Okay. Fair enough. Some are bigger than others.
Usually it's just for reminders. I get up at like 5:36
That's okay.
myself every day.
But let me drop a little bit of a true expense cost. So if I handed you a yo-yo and I said, practice this yo-yo for 24 hours, how good would you be? 24 hours of yo-yoing. I bet you'd be pretty damn good.
I'd be able to walk the dog.
You'd be able to go around the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you spent 24 hours researching whatever business idea or interest or passion you had, you'd probably be pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And I hear all the time, I don't have time. I work a full job. Okay. You do something for 4 minutes a day.
Yeah.
4 minutes, which is half the snooze button, almost half of yours.
4.5.
4.5. That's 24 hours a year.
Yeah.
Just so you know, 4 minutes a day times 365 days is 24 hours. So if you can find 4 minutes a day to do anything that's going to make you better, 1 year from today, you have practiced that for 24 hours. You do it for 8 minutes. That's 2 full calendar days a year. You just spent 48 hours. If I wanted to learn anything in 48 hours of sitting down and learning something, here's a trick. In law school, I didn't go to class very often. 2 days before the exam, I spent 48 hours cramming, and I passed the test. 48 hours of learning any subject, you will learn a lot.
Right.
Like think about the average class in high school.
Yeah.
You had 3 hours a week of that class?
Yeah.
Times what? 15 weeks? That's 45 hours total of math, and you just learn geometry. Right? Or whatever the hell subject.
It's a great perspective.
So when you realize that what you're blowing 8 minutes on social media, just know what you're giving up. 4 minutes a day is an entire day a year. So if you look at that Instagram app and it says you spend 60 minutes a day,
No, that's yeah.
I mean you're giving up literally half a month a year. Literally just watching other people live their life and wondering why you aren't doing it. So invest that time differently, and it's 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't find 4 minutes, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
We can all find 4 minutes. It might not be tomorrow. Like you might truly be a single mother, single father, working 3 jobs. Like I get it. We all have our stresses
You
in
can
life.
still wake up at 5 in the morning when the kids are still asleep.
Or
I mean,
4:56.
It just comes down to how bad you want it.
And 4:56.
And if the time is going to be an excuse that you're going to use, then just be real with yourself and say, I just really obviously don't want it that bad.
That's right.
That's just the truth of it.
The car is perfect because the average drive in most cities is like 15 minutes to
Exactly.
work.
Yeah.
That's 3 days a year.
And
you
back,
can work on
yeah,
something.
back and forth.
There you
So
go.
you can listen to a podcast a day and just soak up information. But the idea is to put action behind it. That's really where it really comes into
Correct.
play, because there's tons of, look, a lot of people that I went to school with that were super smart 4.0, they're not doing shit.
They work
They're
for you.
great. Yeah, few of them. Yeah, Austin, you were 4.0? 4.0. Okay. I was gonna say, on the
because
on the sales side, it's a little bit different.
It's a different skill set.
On the sales side,
Of course,
it's,
those are 2.7.
Exactly. 1.9, bro. I had to be able to be good at communicating, so that's the only thing I had going for me.
Yeah.
But
No, it's different. I mean, obviously, it's a different skill set, and and you're right. It's action, but why I think the reason why a lot of people don't put forth the action is they don't know how to go. They don't know what to do. They feel lost. Like, oh my God, because the problem is there's all this information.
do you think that they just build it up in their head that it's like it's so hard to start, so they just never start? Because we'll get DMs and stuff. Well, how do I start a business? I'm like, set up an LLC, then go to the bank, set up a business bank account, and fund it with $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, whatever money you have. And then just start selling shit. Sure. Whatever you have, then just start selling it.
Or
and then
tell
you'll
one
figure it out.
person, hey, you know what? I just started this business.
Yeah.
It does blank.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens once you do that?
just start it.
You just put it out there.
Exactly. That was an
You
action
just put
step.
it out there.
It's really not that difficult.
Hey,
I just think
sell
that we build
plastic
things up.
Solo cups.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're almost out of those. You have an extra bag?
Exactly.
No, but let me get you some.
Yeah. Exactly. You have to be out there doing in order to see what's truly possible instead of just building it up in your mind. And a lot of the shit that we build up in our minds is, our mind likes to play tricks on us, and it makes it seem like it's going to be much harder than it is to try to talk us out of doing the hard shit, because it really just doesn't want to do hard shit. Your brain's seeking comfort the entire time.
And unless you're like wanting to be like Elon Musk and send rocket ships to the moon, you know, which fine, okay, let me save you all the effort. Not all of you can do that.
Yes. Yes.
I can't do that either.
Yes.
Not only you should.
There's
want
always
to
an
either.
exception
Yeah,
to the rule.
there's
always the
there's
exception.
crazy intelligent people, but. And I don't want to speak for you two fine gentlemen, but I'm an ordinary dude who just does the extra shit, which makes me extraordinary.
Yes.
Which means anyone can do that. I don't have any special gifts that no one else out there has.
Yeah.
I can't dunk a basketball. I can't fly a rocket ship to the moon.
Yeah.
But
You
you
can
want
put
to
in the
outwork
work.
me, let's go.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Exactly.
We've learned that over the last few years, man.
Yeah.
Just being a part of these groups of guys we've looked up to, like, dude, this guy's doing 400 million a year. Like, what does he do to do that? You know, and then you get to know him because you join the groups or you get to know him, meet him, and you're like, oh shit, dude.
There ain't.
I'm just as capable as this guy.
Yeah, we just put people on a pedestal.
That's right.
Yeah, and they're like, well, they must have something that I don't have, or some sort of skill that I don't have, right?
Well, and it's easier for you and for me because we've been practicing the relentless grit, hard work thing for so long that someone who hasn't, you can't go run a marathon tomorrow.
Yes.
Don't expect to.
Yes.
Yeah. Commit to work 4 more minutes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then 4 more minutes the next day.
Start with the fucking first mile.
Yeah.
Get your first mile out of the way. Yeah, exactly.
I don't care. You
just
make one call today.
Starting's more important than where you start.
That's right. Because you'll get better.
Exactly.
One call becomes 2 calls.
Yes.
Yes, I'll make 100 calls because I'm relentless and don't care. That's too much work for someone who doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So make 5 calls today. Then make 6 the next day. And you know what? Eventually you'll get to 100. It's not a race you versus me.
Yeah.
It's you versus you.
Right.
So you do some coaching stuff. What advice would you give a young entrepreneur? You know, and it doesn't mean like young as in 18 years old, just new in business. What would be, you know, if somebody had 2 minutes with you or 3 minutes with you or whatever? What piece of advice would you give that individual that you think would tee them up for potential long-term success?
I'd give them 3 things.
Okay.
1, do it now.
Right.
Too often I talk to people and they have all these amazing ideas and intentions, but they never do it. Just fucking do it right now.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Like that's my first requirement. If you're not going to do it, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Number 2, focus on Kaizen. 1% better every day. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. Just whatever you do, set micro goals for today and get better. 1%. Like I said, make 6 calls tomorrow. Make 7 the next day. I don't need you to go to 100.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. You're going to fail.
Right. Yeah.
Don't do it.
That's expecting a baby to come out running.
Exactly.
There's a process.
1% better, which is everyone can do that. Right? Oh, I held my breath for 9 seconds yesterday. Can you do it for 9.5 or 10 today?
Yes.
That's 1% better. Let's go. And then the last one is focus on relationships. You know, relationship capital is everything. It's not money. If someone asked me, would I rather have $1 million or know 1 million people? I'd rather know 1 million people.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because people make everything go around.
Everything we have has been built off our network.
That's right.
Everything.
Everything. Me too. Like I said, I literally just created a course LinkedIn asked me to on relationship capital. It's how I've built all my businesses and everything in my life. And my mentors have taught me this. I didn't come up with this shit. I just learned it and now I'm trying to give it back. It's relationship capital and it's how you invest in who you know and how you build those relationships and be more interested than interesting and focus on making deposits in those bank accounts with people so you can create opportunity because we met right now. Yeah. Right? Fast forward, and I don't care if it's tomorrow or 20 years from today. I would love to do work with you guys. Obviously, I know we're partners now, but had we
we're
not
working
been,
together.
Yeah, we're
making money together.
But we don't know what the future's going to bring. And it's like the story you were telling me about how you met a guy and you took a business you bought a year ago, and all of a sudden it got spun up even better because you met the right person.
Yes. Right.
Because you were meeting like-minded individuals who hardworking people respect. Game respects game.
Yes.
Right? And I want to be around amazing people. And if you guys are kick-ass killer dudes, I want to be around you.
Yeah. Right.
You inspire me.
Yeah.
And hopefully I return the favor.
Absolutely.
And together, a rising tide lifts all boats. And so if you're a new entrepreneur and you look around and your buddies are, doing stupid shit on Thursday and Friday and can't wait to just drink beer as soon as work's off and they're punching the clock.
Tell them.
You ain't going nowhere. Hang around 5 losers, you're going to be the 6th.
Dude, that's without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I think we've stated it a couple times on the podcast that, some people confuse the fact, hey, we might own easier accounting. Well, we own easier accounting, but the background is it's an accounting business. And a lot of people, oh, you do accounting. You can't look at your business like that. Every business is in the relationship business. That's all you're in. You're in a relationship with your employees, with your managers, with your customers, with your vendors, with other potential investors. It's just all about relationships. And if you're not great at relationships, then your business is not going to go that far. Right. So one thing that you need to focus on is nurturing those relationships, continuing to reach out. Hey, man, how you doing? It's been a minute. All is well. Just
add value to them.
Add value to them. Figure out. Think about other people when opportunities come to you as well. Oh man, I know this guy. Kel does a great job with that. So and so needs something. Hey, I'm gonna connect you with Stuart. Or I'm gonna connect you with this guy or whatever, and just connects the people, the two people. Not saying, hey, give me my cut. It's just, hey, I know him, he's a friend. I know him, he's a friend. Let's connect these two people, and these two people make money.
And you just literally outlined one of the chapters in my course. Like literally, and that's the point, is you get it, right? That's why you get what the whole idea is. And if you're not good at it, that should be your focus.
Yes.
Stop worrying about focusing on Instagram and trying to be a micro influencer or influencer and looking like you're rich on Instagram.
Yeah.
Learn how to make relationships, real ones.
Yes.
Right.
Like true, off the internet, one-on-one. How can I help you? How do I make a deposit? It's the number one thing. Ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's about. When I meet somebody on the street, and people always think it's got to be someone famous.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm going to give you a truism right now. I got one of my biggest deals of my life from the checkout clerk at the Albertsons in my neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah, because her brother owned a company with over 2,000 employees. And with my payroll business, I got a payroll job because I made friends with the checkout clerk at Albertsons.
Right.
Because I was there every day and I would always say, how are your kids? We just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
We built a relationship.
Absolutely.
I had no knowledge who she knew.
Right.
I love this.
But that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You make a deposit with everybody because everybody has a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin,
Absolutely.
friend who might be able to help you in life. And if you are an asshole because you don't think they have value to you, I would never have gotten a 2,000 employee deal. I charge $40 plus $10 a head.
Yeah.
That's 2,000 per paycheck.
Yeah.
That's 26 paychecks a year. You can do the math.
Yeah.
It was a big account.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen if I don't build a relationship. I'm going through the grocery store anyway.
Yeah.
So I can't make the 2 minutes to
say
talk.
hi, how you doing?
And
Just
how
kind of
are you-
bullshit
and we-
a little
we
bit.
built
Yeah.
how are your kids? Oh,
Yeah.
my kids are good.
Yeah.
And then I got to know her better. And then she'd ask me, what's going on? Oh, I have my payroll business. Oh, cool. Long story short, her brother-in-law or her brother was once talking to her about how some shit was going on in
venting,
business.
basically just
and
release
somehow
it.
she's thought to connect us.
Yeah.
Still one of our biggest affiliates to this day is a guy I met in therapy.
Yep.
You know, we both were going through divorces. We had to do the family classes and all that stuff. We became friends, and like here we are. I don't know how many years later, man. We still
6, 7, 8
Yeah.
years. Probably 8 years ago. Or no, it's been longer than that. It's probably
a
been
long
10,
time.
10
Yeah,
years.
but, dude,
9, 10
you
years
know,
ago.
just became friends, started adding value to each other's lives, and
Yep.
turns out we were into verticals where we could actually do some business together.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now he's one of the biggest affiliates of ours. Yeah.
I would challenge everyone every day, try to meet one new person in the world.
And it could be anybody. Austin, you know I'm weird about it. Whenever we go out of town, how many times I talk to people, just random ass people, and people are just like, man, he's just weird. He just talks to everybody, like, and it's just. But it even feels better personally to be just a good person. Hey, how you doing? When you're just walking by somebody or getting at the checkout at Albertsons, you know, why not?
That's right.
How does it hurt you to potentially build somebody else up or ask somebody else how their day's doing? And it doesn't even have to be in the purpose of trying to make money the entire time. Just be a good human being,
That's right.
and then relationships will get kindled from there naturally.
Yep.
And it'll evolve, and then good things just start happening. It's just the way that it works.
That's right.
you know?
And focus on being more interested in them than
Yes.
interesting. Because the other problem people make is they want to talk about themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Minus the podcast where
Yeah.
I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
But normally,
Anyways, Jeff, about us. Fine. Hey, well, you know.
But truthfully, that's what it is, right? It's be more interested than interesting.
Yeah.
When you think about that, ask questions. Oh, where'd you get that hat?
Somebody sent it to me on Instagram. Shout out to Hemp City.
That's a rad
There you
hat.
go.
I mean,
There
I
you
would
go.
love that hat, size
Yeah.
medium large.
Yeah. Hey, be careful, dude. They'll send me a message, dude, and you're gonna get hooked up. You're gonna be so chill. You have so
At
much
Fenster
CBD.
Jeff, I love that hat. No, but that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
It's about making friends. I mean, the two rules at Everbowl. You
Yeah.
ask any of our employees, when I interviewed for people to work at even a restaurant,
Yeah.
I said, look, there's two rules here. Make friends and have fun. If you can do that, I'll
Yeah.
hire you. We'll figure out the rest.
Yeah.
You can't do that, you can't work here.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything else. Make mistakes.
Yeah.
Make friends with every customer
Yeah.
who walks through that door. Make friends with everybody you work with. Because if you make friends with people, you have empathy. You care about them.
Yeah.
You show up on time. I'm not going to leave you stranded to work by yourself
Yeah.
during a lunch rush if I'm supposed to work with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, I'm sick today. I'm going to be your buddy, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to care about you. Oh, shit, you're running late? I'm going to cover for you.
Yes.
I'm going to do the things. I'm not going to steal your money. I'm not going to be rude to a customer. I understand a customer's I'm so sorry you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you don't like your food. Let me make you something else. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all problems are solved.
Yeah.
Yeah, you build a culture like that, man. You can't
That's
fail.
what that's
Yeah.
you know, that's Everbone. That's our culture, you know,
Yeah.
and it all boils down to relationships. And so those are the three things I know it was a long-winded tangent. But those are the three things I would tell an entrepreneur.
I said 3 minutes, bro.
No, dude,
Kidding.
we break that stuff down all the time. Dude.
Yeah.
It's like just brilliant the way you did it. Probably
Yes.
one of the best
Yeah.
that we've ever heard it broke down on the show.
Yeah.
Dude. So
Yeah, you did an amazing
I love your
job,
energy
bro.
and your
Yeah.
passion.
Sorry, I get
and
excited.
it's
I love
awesome.
it. Yeah,
there's a lot of value there today.
So it's just good to have other people on that have multiple businesses and kind of have made the same mistakes and have the same ahas, throughout the process, and have the same values of, it's all about relationships. It's all about culture. These are all things that we talk about constantly on the podcast. And when we bring somebody in like yourself that's seen a lot of success, you're validating some of the things that we talk about. And that's why we love having great guests like you on, because it just shows that we're not just blowing smoke. It's not hot air. This is real shit. You guys hear it from us. This is the first time we met Jeff. Jeff just showed up. It's not like we talked about what we were going to talk about or anything like that. And he has a relationship type program on LinkedIn, and we're sitting here talking about it. He's like, well, that's exactly what we're doing. And again, it just syncs up. So what that tells me is there are ingredients to success, right? And we're sitting here talking about these ingredients to you, giving you all the free information that you guys need to go do something big, do something bold, go out there and really create something special. But you actually have to do and take action in order for it to actually work and make money,
Do it now.
Do it now. Do it now. That's it right there. Number one, that's where it starts. So I know people love the podcast. I guarantee they're going to love the podcast. Where do people connect with you if they want to connect with you, or, just check you out? Your Instagram is what?
Fenster Jeff. Last name, first name. Fenster Jeff. You can email me, connect@jefffenster.com.
Is it one N, Fenstr?
ER.
ER.
Yeah, Fenster, and then Jeff the good old-fashioned way, Jeff.
Okay, not one F, two Fs.
Yeah.
There's... What's the other one with the G? G off?
Yeah, that ain't me.
We used to have a G
That
off.
ain't me. I'm just good old Hefe.
So is that where they connect with you best?
Or email connect@jefffenster.com or on LinkedIn. And then feel free to hit me up. I love talking to entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I don't need your money, so I'm not selling you nothing. Yeah. The LinkedIn course is free. Yeah. So like I said, if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
I can give it to you for free, and I will. I didn't do it to make money. I did it to give back.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you get to a point in life where it's like, we figured out the success formula for us.
Yeah.
And
when money's no longer an issue, you kind of want to make an impact.
That's right.
And that's what's going to ultimately fill up the soul as well.
That's right. Well, it makes it meaningful. Exactly. Right? And it validates everything where it's like the success we're all parents. So watching my kid do something is 10 times better than me doing it.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I never thought it would be the case because I was so about me when I was younger. I was like, me, in the mirror, whatever. But it is enjoyable to watch your kids just, those little moments where you see growth, or watching them play sports or whatever. You get so much more fulfillment out of watching other people do something awesome, especially when you're already in a good position yourself anyways. You just want to build other people up. Because one, it is difficult. It is difficult, and you want to let them know that it's okay that it's difficult. That's completely normal. It's not like you're doing a lot of shit wrong.
That's right.
You're just going through the shit, and you're building a business. Welcome.
Well, and I wouldn't be here but for the help I got.
Yeah.
Honestly, my longest mentor, David Meltzer, he's been a mentor of mine for 30 years.
We had him on the podcast.
Yeah, so we're writing a book together. It's coming out at the end of the year, and it's cool. It's on mentorship.
Cool.
We've been friends since I was 4 years old, and he was a teenager. Wow. Our moms worked together at the same school.
Wow, that's cool.
And he's why I was going to be a sports agent. I was actually going to go work with him.
Fall and then his rise.
I worked with him. Literally, he's babysat me and came to watch. He watched me play Little League when I was 5.
How old is he? He's a little older than
He's 12 years old, or 13 years older than me. So he's 51.
Yeah, he's cool to connect with. I know he has like an entrepreneur group. I mean, Trevor, we were talking about getting in on that. So
so he's an incredible guy, and his mentorship has helped me know what to do, know what not to do. He's made mistakes as a mentor, but
of course.
But I get to learn from that. And his investment in me I was a kid, and then a teenager, and then 20s, and half the time I didn't listen to him, and I was a pain in his ass. I was his little brother that was just probably, but his investment in me, he told me later in life, he's like, watching you now has made that worthwhile. And it's like, I'm a parent of kids. They're not in business. So as a business guy, and what I love about entrepreneurship and industry and business, investing in other people and watching them be successful is awesome.
So fulfilling.
So fulfilling.
Yes.
And it's part of how mentorship needs to work. Like, we have to give back. And all I ask is, when you guys take these nuggets from these two amazing individuals in this podcast, you do the same. You give back once you've made it. And we keep that going in our industry of badass hustlers, entrepreneurs. We don't
have to be the bad capitalists. There's we can build other people up and show other people the way, right?
That's right. Come from a place of abundance.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know?
So rather than the scarcity mindset, like I got to keep all my secrets to
You're
myself.
successful. I can't be.
Yeah, it's like if you got your money in the bank, just because they're starting to make money doesn't mean yours is just going to disappear.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So,
There's a lot of money.
There's a ton of money. You know, if you don't believe it, you know, go
Maybe
to
Jeff Bezos
yeah,
and Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Maybe they're eating each other's
Jeez,
pockets, but we aren't.
Yeah.
You know?
When you get to that level, they're all just fighting for the first trillion.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so dude, we appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing your story. You know, sharing some of the nuggets with us, and again, I say with us, like me and Kel, because you know we love having these conversations as well, and then there's people that get to listen and enjoy the conversations as well and grow from it. So, dude, we appreciate you coming out and being on, man.
Well, seriously, thank you guys for having me. I'm a big fan of your show already, and it was cool to know that not only am I on the show, but we're partners now, and I look forward to cranking together.
We're intertwining pretty hard.
I know.
Who knows what's going to happen
Pretty soon there's going to be a
next.
third mic here permanently. Uh-oh. See, I'm dropping that knowledge.
Hey, the Everbowl franchise will be here soon, so make sure you come visit a lot. And we'll
be a
have
regular.
Yeah, exactly. We'd love to have you back, man. So thanks for coming out. And guys, we know that you enjoyed today's episode. Jeff was amazing without question. So make sure that you're rating, reviewing the podcast. If you prefer to watch it, make sure you're watching it on YouTube. Other than that, guys, make sure you have a kick-ass day. Take care.